Hello, my name's Jonathan Ulmer and I'm the principal of Cats College in Canterbury and we do a lot of work to help students get into top British and American universities. Sometimes some students may be interested in coming to England but then going to an American university, and that can happen. Most of our students would tend to go to British universities because to go to a British university is 3 years, but to go to an American university will take you 4 years, okay? So, well, that's a little bit about me. Now, this is just a bit about Canterbury, where I come from, okay? So as you can see there, we were at 2010 High School of the Year. 2011, our boarding was graded by the British government as excellent. That's the highest grade. 2012, 2014, awards of excellence from the Independent Schools Association across the UK. And in 2013, we were praised as a centre of excellence in the British Government Handbook. And last year, we were given 2 awards by Her Majesty the Queen, the Queen's Award for Enterprise and also the MBE. So very special awards for the college, and so that gives you a flavour of who I am and where I'm coming from. So very special awards from the Queen. And also we won the Independent Schools, the boarding school competition in 2014. So Best Boarding School Initiative in the UK. And we also have the International Schools Award from the British Council. So that tells you a bit about me, okay, what I'm going to talk to you about and why I am talking to you, okay, about getting to top universities, because that is what we do all the time. So, you know, there are 3 ways to go to university in the UK, all right? International Baccalaureate is one, okay, 2-year course, okay? Second one, A-levels, 2-year course. The third way you will generally only find in international schools, and the foundation programme is a 1-year course. You have to be 17, okay? And foundation programme, that's the third way. So 3 ways you can get to a top British university. So A-levels, first of all, you know this. Lots of choice, lots of different subjects. 4 in your first year, 3 in your second year, usually. But be careful, top universities, okay? A-levels alone are not enough, okay? You have to have extra things if you are heading for a top university, okay? So just need to be aware of that. So remember, 3 grade A's, not enough, okay? But I will tell you more about that in a moment. International Baccalaureate, second route, okay? Now, International Baccalaureate is 6 subjects, but International Baccalaureate covers everything you need to go to a top university. Everything is included in the International Baccalaureate, okay? So it is a bit different from A-level, okay? So yes, it is slightly harder work, yeah? But it includes everything a top university wants, okay? If you don't want to go to a top university, it is true, A-level is easier if you don't want to go to a top university, okay? So just important point there. Foundation, okay? This is the third route. Now, here you have to be careful, okay? A-levels are the same everywhere, okay? All the schools you see today, all the A-levels, it is the same. Every school offering IB is the same, okay? Foundation, no. Every foundation course is different. There are good foundation courses, there are bad foundation courses. There are lots of foundation courses, okay? Now, you need to make a decision. You can do a foundation course at a university, okay? A university is not a school, okay? It will not have the same level of support. That is not what universities do. I check every single hour that you are in your lessons. If you are not in your lesson, I send someone to find you, okay? That will not happen at university, okay? So be careful, a university is not a school, okay? So yes, you can do foundation at university, but do not expect it to be like a school, okay? Also, if you do a foundation course at a university, there is no guarantee you will go to that university. No guarantee. So Warwick University, top university in the UK, they have a foundation course. It is not in Warwick, it is in Stratford, okay? And there is no guarantee, because you are on that course, that you will go to Warwick or a top university. So please be careful, okay? So you want to look at the foundation course, where do they send their students? That is very important, okay? So right now, today, I have foundation students who have offers from LSE, Exeter, Durham, York, Warwick, Bristol, all the top British universities, okay? So always ask difficult questions, okay? Because it's very important with foundation. Do not go to any place for foundation, okay? For example, King's College London. You've heard of King's College London? Very, very top university in London, okay? They only accept 4 foundation courses. Of those 4, only 1 is a school, and that is Canterbury, okay? So please be careful, okay? So A-level all the same, IB all the same, foundation no, okay? So be careful, go to the right foundation if you want a top university, okay? Be careful. And that's just the foundation programme there in Canterbury. Okay, it was the first foundation programme in the UK. It has been running for nearly 30 years, so very well established foundation programme. Right, so what about Oxford and Cambridge? Okay, I'll tell you a little bit about them. Now, okay, Oxford and Cambridge, you cannot apply to both. You have to apply to one or the other, okay? And Oxford and Cambridge are made up of lots and lots and lots of different colleges. Now these are all Cambridge colleges, okay? They are all part of Cambridge University, okay? So you have to apply to a college, but that is all part of the university. Now some colleges are easier to get into than other colleges. Some subjects are easier to get into than other subjects, okay? Some of the richest colleges are the most difficult to get into, like King's and Trinity, okay? So you do need very special advice from your school as to where to apply, okay? So this year I have students going to both Oxford and Cambridge universities, but you do need to have special advice that changes every year. Now these are the colleges from Oxford University. So you can see there, New College, there, that was my college, okay, New College. Now it was new when it opened, but that was in 1379. So, right, so those are the colleges. Now, let's look at what you have to do. You have something called a UCAS form. That's a university form that you have to fill in, okay? And on that university form, you have to say a page of writing about you, okay? It must be something that you write. Now, we can help you and we can tell you the things you need to say and help you with it, but you must write it, okay? If you copy something from the internet or anything like that, they will find out, okay? And you will lose every one of your university places. Okay? So you have to be careful and you have to be honest. Okay? So a school cannot write it for you. Okay? A school can help you and tell you what to do. They cannot do it for you. Now, there will be people in London and in other cities, possibly in Ukraine, I don't know, but there will be people who will say to you, give me £2,000 and I will make sure you go to a top university. I will write your application, okay? Do not listen, okay? It is not true and it will get you into trouble, okay? So you please be careful, okay? There is no shortcut. You have to do this, okay? And please don't listen to people who try and trick you, okay? You know they are trying to trick you because they will ask you for lots of money. So you've done your application, okay? The school writes a page. You have to write a page, okay? Then some top universities will interview you. Oxford and Cambridge will interview. It is harder to get an interview at Oxford, a bit easier to get an interview at Cambridge, okay? But they're both very good places to go to, okay? If you are invited for an interview, that is stage 1, okay? If you do not get an interview, you won't have a place. So first of all is the interview. Some universities will ask you for extra tests, okay? And your school needs to help you with those extra tests, okay? So I will help students with LNAT exam for law, or UKCAT and BMAT for medicine, and for TSA, which Oxford sometimes asks for. So there are some extra exams for top universities, and you need a school that will help you with those tests. So if you pass your interview, what they will then ask for, they will say you can have a place if you get certain grades. So for Cambridge, they may ask you for A stars and A's at A level, or 41 points at IB, okay? So they will ask, and if you do not get those grades, you will not go, okay? Particularly Cambridge. Oxford asks for about 39 to 40 points on IB. Oxford are a bit more sympathetic, okay? Cambridge, no grade, no go, right? Oxford, tiny flexibility, little bit, okay, not too much though, right? You have to get your grades. And again, you need a school who will argue with the universities. So every summer, when my students are back in Ukraine or Russia or wherever, okay, I will be on the email, I will be talking to them. If they don't get the grades, I'll be telephoning the universities and saying, take this student, all right? Sometimes I win, sometimes I do not win, okay? But I will always try, okay? So that's very important. So, but Jen, if you get the grades the university asks for, you will go to that university. You have a first choice and a second choice. If you get the grades for the first choice, you go there. If you don't, you go to your second choice, okay? If you don't get the grades for your second choice, then you need the school to help you, okay? And you can go through a process which is called clearing, and we can get a university place for you in a different way. Oxford and Cambridge, LSE, Imperial, UCL, you have to be exceptional. Very, very, very good, okay? So, interesting, at Oxford and Cambridge, it's in 2013, 23,000 students with top grades were rejected, okay? So it is very tough, okay? Medicine is very tough, okay? So I say to my students, I'm a principal, okay? I make very good decisions. Some decisions I make are not so good. But one thing I can promise you If I make a decision, it will not kill you, okay? But medicine, it is very important. You have to be right, always. So some things to think about with top universities. Look at the subject rank, not just the university rank. So, for example, Aberystwyth is not a top-ranked university, but for international relations in the UK, it's number 1. Okay? So the course is important, not just the university. Okay? So Kent University is not a Russell Group university, is not Times Top 20, but it is in the top 10 for psychology, for example. So a very good university. So some very, very good universities are not in the rankings. So always be very careful with rankings. You know, they do not tell you the full picture. Okay? So be careful, it's not all straightforward. And then think about every university is different. So think about the teaching style. Is it problem-based learning or subject-based? So if you want to do medicine, for example, if you go to Cambridge, it may be more research-based, okay? Maybe more analytical or theory. Whereas if you go to Sheffield, it might be more practical, okay? More about dealing with people. So you have to think what kind of teaching you are happy with, okay? So every university is very different. Top universities want to know about why you are committed to your subject, okay? So there's lots of great things you can do at independent schools in England, okay? It's a great experience. You can do horse riding, you can do swimming, you can do sailing, lots of exciting things. But a top university is not interested, okay? A top university wants to know, what have you done that is relevant to your subject, okay? So I'll tell you more about that in a moment. For example, medicine, okay? You need work experience, okay? So working in somewhere where they use medicine. So at half term or at Easter or in the summer, getting experience of places where they use medicine. If you do that, the university is interested, okay? They want to know what you have done. So if you want to go to a subject like medicine, you need a school where you have a medics program where they can help you with the special things you need to do for medicine, okay? There are extra things that you need to do. So I have a medics person who meets my medics students every week and helps them and works with them and makes sure they are doing things they need to do. So one of these extra tests I told you about is the BMAT, and you need that if you're going to Cambridge, London, Oxford, Royal Veterinary College or UCL, okay? They might ask you for a BMAT exam. Most other universities will ask you for UK CAT, okay? That's another special exam, okay? So for some subjects, there are special exams, okay? Medicine, law, some subjects at some top universities. Now these are not difficult if you have someone to help you, okay? So don't worry, okay? These are not really difficult exams, but you just need someone to help you with them, to tell you what you need to do. So some of these exams you can only do once a year, some you can do more than once a year, okay? But you need help just to make sure it's okay. Law is another subject where you often need to have a special exam called the LNAT exam. So again, you can see some of those top universities that require you to have an LNAT exam: Oxford, Durham, Bristol, King's College, UCL, okay? Now again, for law we have weekly meetings where we have a critical lawyers group, we have debating groups. So debating and arguing and talking with people is very important for top universities. So if you want to go to a top university, you need to be able to argue, okay? Say what you think, okay? And look at different points of view. and see if you can argue different points of view. Okay? So being critical and thinking about what you believe and why is very important for top universities. This is your university application. So you do this online on the computer, okay? And I said earlier, you have to have your personal statement and a reference from the school, okay? You must do your UCAS with your school, okay? Your university application, okay? Because then your school can help you, they can look at it, they can check it is all right, okay? So your UCAS, university application, you must do that with your school. There will be people who will say to you, give me £2,000 and you can do it with me, okay? Do not listen to them, okay? A good school will help you with your university application and will help you all the way, okay? A good school will do that, okay? You do not need to spend money. These some of the things your application must show. Really strong interest in your subject, okay? Might be some work experience, okay? It might be a range of interests or things you have done that are relevant for your application. So I will give you some examples of what I do with students to improve their application, okay? Every school might be different, but I will tell you what I do to help students. When students start with me, I give them a booklet there, okay, which has about 100 different activities in, which will help you with your university application. Activities in science or maths or economics or business or accounting or law, whatever subject you want, okay, there will be activities you can do that make your application look good. Okay? There's also, that's a booklet on applying to America and Canada, and some students want to apply there as well, okay? So you have lots of choices, but you need help in knowing what to do next. Some things you can do, so our students, I make them do online university courses. Now that looks very good on an application. So a student doing business might have done a course from Warwick University on how to understand your boss, or lots of different things that you can do. So when you write your university application, you may already have done a university course. Now they could take 6 weeks, about 3 or 4 hours a week, not difficult, okay? So a few less parties, okay? A little bit more work. It is not difficult to do them, okay? And it looks really good on your university application. So all those top universities and more are universities where you can do an online course, okay? Which again, you get a certificate from that university and it looks very good on your applications. And those are all very, very good top British universities. So business activities can be really good. So every one of our students is interviewed by a business leader, okay, to help them understand about business and the future. Because it doesn't matter what subject you do, one day all of you will be involved in business of some kind. And how does your subject relate to the world, your future world? So we make all students do a business challenge and be interviewed by a business leader. And they will ask you things like, why are you in the UK? What use is your subject? What are you going to do with it? Why should I give you a job in 5 years' time? So they will ask you difficult questions, and that is very good because it helps you to think well. Or you can do things like set up your own company, and business people will come in and advise you and help you, so you learn practically about the world of business. And you need to take part in competitions. So here are some of our students. They won the Young Dragons competition and they beat all the British students, okay? They've won lots of awards for engineering, for business, for enterprise, lots of areas like that, okay? So competitions are very good. And here we go, the Canterbury students, those two, one is Russian and one is Ukrainian, and they won the public speaking competition. And they beat all the British students in the south of England. And their first subject was not English, okay? So an international environment is really, really good for young people because it really makes you think. And a lot of our international students go on and do really great things because when you're living with people from 60 different nationalities, everything you think is challenged. Everything you do, it's different everywhere. And so it really makes you think and challenges you for the future. And again, not surprising, the students won Best Company Award this year, Best Logo, Best Marketing Strategy, all won by international students at CATS. So again, an environment that challenges you, that makes you think, is great, and students can go on and win lots of competitions like that. And this all looks very, very good for top universities. They like things like this. There's some more students. That is the fastest car in the world. It's called the Bloodhound, okay? And our students won a competition. Their names are now written on the tail of the fastest car in the world because they won that competition. So again, very good to do things like this. Other things, global leadership is very important for all universities. So how are you going to show your leadership skills? Universities, top universities, want great leaders. Now, you know, if you look at all the heads of state and presidents and prime ministers from all over the world, one in seven have been to a British Institute of Higher Education. 1 in 7 of all presidents and prime ministers across the world. Now that is amazing. And that is what universities, they want people who are going to be leaders, okay? So right from September, one of the first things I will do with students is we will do a leadership training day to ask you, what is leadership? What does it mean? How can I become a leader, okay? And we work with students to do that. And we do lots of leadership awards. So if you like sports, the Sports Leadership Award. You could do a Language Leadership Award. These are national qualifications you can do in the UK. We do with students. An Excelsis Leadership Award. A British Boarding Schools Leadership Award. Duke of Edinburgh's Leadership Award. Maths Leadership Award. Lots and lots of them, okay? So you choose what you feel happy doing. So remember, we have 100 different activities. So you choose what is good for you and what you are happy doing, okay? And it's different for everyone, okay? So lots of chances. And again, these look very good for top universities. So remember, I said 3 grade A's at A-level are not enough. You need extra things like this, okay? The IB includes all of this at a good IB school. So all of this can be included with International Baccalaureate. With A-levels, it's extra you need to do. Now we do a CATS Canterbury Leadership Award as well, and that has 70 university points. So a lot of university points for doing it. So it is hard work. It's worth more than half an A-level, okay? So that is hard work, but some students do that. You can do a student council, that's very good, so show your leadership skills in a student council. And these are our students at the United Nations in New York. So that's our student president in last year in the United Nations General Assembly, and they have the chance to debate and talk with American students. So they are going there in about 2 weeks' time now. So that was last year. This year they're going in about two or 3 weeks' time. And very, very good for your university application. And I've told you about work experience, so doing some work getting experience in your area, whether it's medicine or business or economics, whatever it is. So right now, some of my students are in the City of London, the world's financial centre, and they are doing some live trading on a trading floor in the City of London. Okay? Amazing experience. Okay? They will write about that on their university application. So doing these extra things makes you look really different and makes your application look very, very strong. And if you have an interview, you need practice. So some top universities will invite you for interview. Not all, but some of them will. And you have to prepare and plan for it and think about the questions. So why do you want to study your subject? What have you done to prove your interest in the subject? Okay, so you would talk about all the things that you have done at CATS, for example, or at your school, and you would tell the interviewer what you have done to prove why you are a really good student and why you really love your subject. And we have full-time university staff just to help you with your university application. Okay, so this is Dawn, so she's very nice, and she's on email almost 24 hours, and she works all the time helping students with their universities. And particularly if you are worried, or if you have a problem, or if something's not working well, there's always someone, an expert, that you can talk to. So that is very important. You need expert advice from wherever you go to school. Someone who understands universities and who has worked with them a lot. And since over this year, the whole of this year, at CATS, for example, we have had 160 university visits. So amazing, just for CATS Canterbury students. So you can meet the university, you can talk to them face to face, ask them questions yourself, and that is very helpful, okay? So again, you know, we have university fairs twice a year just for our students. Universities will come, and it's great to talk to them directly, and they will help you, okay? So you have help from your school. You also need help from universities and to talk to universities. And so at CATS, we have been doing this for 60 years, and we have very strong university links. And the last thing, something really positive for you to think about, and that is you really have an advantage. Because when you come to the UK, you understand the Ukraine, you understand how things work here, you understand all of the issues that Ukraine is facing now, and you will also know all about the UK and how things work in the UK and the issues we have in the UK. So most British students don't have that experience. You will have international experience. You will understand more than one country. At CATS, our students will understand loads of different countries. We have 60 different nationalities at CATS. That gives you an amazing international experience. And British students do not have that, but you will. So you have a really good advantage, okay? There's lots of things we can do to help you, or a good school can do to help you with your university application. It is difficult to go to a top university, but a lot of our students, a lot of our international students, every year go to top universities, Oxford, Cambridge, all sorts of universities right across the UK and in America. So think positively, you can do it, okay? But do lots of extra activities and really good activities. So it's not the sports and the horse riding, there's great, really good activities. That doesn't get you to university, okay? Do really good activities, online university courses, leadership awards, lots of things that make your application look really special. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay.